AI. Listen. I feel like AI is the future. Right now, it's gonna blow up. Right? It's too much. But it's got its grubby little hands on everything, man. We got AI artists out here producing, mixing, dropping beats, rapping, singing, you name it. Like, it's doing it all, man. How you feel about AI? How you feel about this, man?
Okay.
You a little afraid?
We're cooked. Let's just say it for the jump. Like, eventually, I believe that AI in general, like, we're opening a can of worms that I don't think humanity is really ready for.
Welcome back to Chocolate Espresso Podcast. I'm your host, Thomas Nuer. Where float your fancy, I ain't that picky. Y'all, you know what time it is. He knows what time it is. He knows what time it is. It's another interview, boy. I love these interviews. You know why? Because I got 58 questions, and everybody else got the answers. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. I got my main boy.
Yo, Wagwan is YG Solo. I'm from Kumasi, Ghana. I reside in Minneapolis. You know, I'm excited to be here.
Man, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm maintaining down. How about you?
Hey, man, every day is a blessing. I wake up. Some people don't, so I think I already got a leg up on somebody else, if you catch my drift.
Amen.
Hey, man, you got to tell us a little bit about yourselves, though. Come on.
About me? Shoot, I'm an Afrobeat artist. I reside here in Minneapolis. I'm like I said, I'm from Ghana, originally from Kumasi, and yeah.
Good old Ghana, man. Everybody from Ghana. Everybody say they from Ghana.
Yes, sir.
You been back?
Yeah, I have actually. I've only been back. Only been back once. I'm planning to go later on this year towards like December. Yeah, it was great. I only went for a short amount of time though, about like 2 weeks or so. But when I did, I loved the time I spent out there.
That's what's up. So, like, man, you got to give me that origin story. Because was it in Ghana when you started doing music? I mean, how long you been doing music? What's the origin on this, man?
I actually haven't been doing music that long. I went to Ghana about like 5 years ago, and I started doing music a little over a year now. I actually just started when it was a fluke, to be honest. I was going to the studio with my friend who at that time had just started doing music himself, and I wasn't going there with any intention of making any music. I was just going there because I wanted to support my friend and also just see what a studio's like. And then I seen him make his first song, and I watched the process of picking the beat, laying the vocals, mixing and that, and then just watching that. I was even just, it inspired me to start, just writing in the studio while he was making his first song. And then after like a few times of following him to the studio and that, I decided to hop in the studio my first time as well. And first song went trash, like almost anybody else. But I love the process of creating something just from nothing. And then I went again, and I made something that actually really resonated with me. And I went again. So the third time, the first times I was trying to rap like I was just a regular American. But the third time, I tried to do some Afrobeats, and I actually made my first song, Bad Man. And I remember just being in the studio, and as soon as I got to the chorus and that, I looked up, and the whole studio was going crazy. So that as soon as that happened, I got something, you know what I'm saying? And then from then, it's just been up.
Man, you gotta let me know right now. You still got that first song though?
I do. Actually, wait. You mean the first song?
That first song. The one you said it was trash, man. They ain't never trash. Tell me you still got it, though.
That won't see the light of day. I might put it in my will, if anything. But
come on, man. You can remix that a little bit, have a little throwback one day.
I don't think the world needs that. I don't think the world, I want to do that to the world. I want to put positivity and greatness. Yeah.
Oh, man. You know what, though? I mean, there's a lot of people out there that talk about positivity, being more creative and finding themselves in new spaces and stuff like that. I mean, you got to have some inspirations, right? Who's inspiring you today?
Inspiring me? There's a lot of people that inspire me, musically or in general.
I'm going to say, like, music and in general. Like, if maybe there's one, maybe there's multiple.
Musically, I'd say the people I've been looking up to a lot is people that inspire my current sound. I say it's people like Odumodu Black, one of the biggest rappers in come out of Nigeria, Black Sharif from Ghana, Shatawale, Rema, especially with the new sound that's been inspiring a lot of the underground Afrobeat artists. They definitely been helped me push my sound to something that I believe is a lot more authentic, because I feel like Afrobeat for a while got watered down to fit the global standard of what like music is supposed to be like, but that's not what Afrobeat really originated from. So those people who are just raw and authentic, and not just even just African artists themselves, like I listen to a lot of American artists too, like G Herbo, who else really resonates with me from America? I don't know why I'm blanking right now, but people with that grit, definitely as people who I've been looking up to lately.
That's wild, man. I mean, I feel like Afrobeats is definitely a growing market, right? Like, you know, it's really starting to inflate when you got other countries with different cultural backgrounds trying to mix it into their own thing and still call it Afrobeats. And that's a whole nother conversation right now. But I'm super curious. I mean, there's a lot of conversations about.
Yeah, and also, can I add something? Oh yeah, and also the UK scene also inspires me a lot. Like honestly, I think I'm probably listening to the UK scene more than Americans. Between people like there's a lot of new cats. Like I like Leo Stay Trill a lot. Of course, the OGs like Stormzy and Skepta. Man, like Skepta. There's also a new guy called Kid Wild. He's one of my favorites out right now. Nems, all them. I feel like UK rap gets overlooked. J Hus is a big influence, especially when I first started doing music. I feel like a lot of UK artists get overlooked just because of their accents, but I think that lyrically and the sounds that they mix, considering UK has a lot of people from Africa, a lot of immigrants from Africa, from Jamaica, the Caribbean, that melting pot is, I think it's beautiful to mix all those different types of sounds from Afrobeat, dancehall, grime, and that's like kind of like where my sound comes from, because my sound isn't really just Afrobeat. It's more Afrobeat, dancehall, high life, grime, UK rap, all mixed into one. And I go into whatever pocket that feels right in that moment. And I don't really like to just stick to one thing. But of course, Afrobeat is the base, but like, I like to, expand on that.
So, like, I mean, you're talking about sound and different cultural backgrounds. I mean, there's a lot of conversation coming out of Ghana right now, especially from the one comment that Shudda came out with. I mean, what's your perspective on where the sound of Afrobeats in relation to Ghana is going?
Oh, you mean Shatawale?
Yeah,
Shatawale, yeah. That man, professional fanfula now. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Shatawale, what does it do with Shatawale? Like, he would say something and it would like probably piss a lot of people off, but a lot of times he really be speaking the truth. I feel like he's also like a real truth speaker. With the industry in Ghana, it's just like, I feel like it's two things. It's exposure, and the people running the music industry I don't feel like they have the art and the artist's best interest at heart. I feel like they're looking at it as, of course, everything is supposed to be business when it comes to something like that. That's a label. But like, as where Ghana is right now, I feel like they should be trying to push Ghana as a whole and push Ghanaian artists to their best as far as they can, instead of, looking towards just their own personal gain. Of course, you can have personal gain. You need personal gain, of course, and for a business. But if you want the industry in Ghana to grow, they need to focus on coming together to push as a collective. Like, I remember when Black Sharif even said something of how he said that, in Ghana we should play more Ghanaian artists, because a lot of Africans they won't listen to people from their own country, or listen to look at the charts and there's nothing by Nigerians, and there's people took it as like, oh, he doesn't like Nigerians, he doesn't like people from other countries. No, he just saying like just self-love. It's no hate. It's just love your own people, love the music they're making, and not only do you have to do that, but also I feel like Ghanaian artists have to collab with people abroad as well, not to water down their sound or anything, but also just to get people, on board with that sound. There's a lot of people, like when came out of jail, he went to Nigeria and collab with people like Ashake, Wizkid, Burna Boy, all these people, and he's now dropping hits with these people. A lot of people from Ghana's fan base would not be listening to Afrobeats if it wasn't for him. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like Ghanaians need to collab with people from the UK, people from America, people from abroad. You know what I'm saying? So we all build a melting pot that are more familiar with the Ghanaian sound,
But this conversation starting to come out a lot more, right? And I've been kind of hinting towards it, but like, if you're not African, do you feel like you can still authentically make Afrobeats? Because I guess hear me out though, because I got enough evidence to support the fact that if you not, you really ain't making it. Like the sound ain't the same. It ain't coming from the same. It's kind of like what you said. Like, are you coming from the trenches?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, could a rich boy who's never had to worry about a bill in their life somehow talk about the struggles in South Harlem? Probably not.
I mean, I feel like you don't, it doesn't necessarily, I feel like, okay. I'm trying to say something that will piss a lot of people off, but like, at the end of the day, I feel like it's not about being necessarily African. Of course, that helps a lot. You understand the native tongue, you understand the cultural differences, like something simple as greeting somebody with your rights, like how strict that is. Simple things like that is common in Africa, isn't really common in other places abroad. I feel like it's less so being African and more so understanding the culture that you're utilizing, because that's when, like, if an American, let's say if a white American decided to make Afrobeat, what are the first thing people would say? This is cultural appropriation or something. You know what I'm saying? But like, if there's a difference between, did he just wake up one day like, I want to be Burna Boy? You get me? Or did he wake up one day, go to Ghana, live amongst the people, eat the food, you know what I'm saying? Learn some of the language, learn some of the slang, you know what I'm saying? Learn the culture, and then he's like, I want to try this thing. I feel like that person, if they do it justice, should be able to, make Afrobeat as well. Because I personally, before I really got into Afrobeat, I got into Afrobeat personally, like, I've always been around, of course, going to grad parties and being African myself, but it was never like something, Afrobeat wasn't something like I really, it was always around me, but it was just like one of them things that's just like, it's just there. I didn't really understand it the way I understand it now. And it's like, it took me time to really sit and learn history and see the impact that it has for me to really be able to utilize the way it should have been. Because if I decided to make Afrobeat like 3 years ago, I don't believe that I'd be making Afrobeat. Even though I am African, I was born in America. So I don't believe that I would have been doing Afrobeat justice. I would have been making some watered down version. But now that I understand myself and I, trace back my roots and understand who I am identity wise, because that's really what it is. Afrobeat isn't just a genre, it's an identity, it's a culture, it's the foods, the sounds, it's all that. Once I understand that, that's when I feel like you can really make Afrobeat the way it's meant to be made.
So do you feel like there's a difference between Afrobeat and Afrobeats?
Definitely. I feel like actually the story between that is funny because I forgot who it was, but it might have been like Davido and them, like one of the early pioneers of Afrobeat is when they were first being broken out. The blogs and the articles will say, I remember the article called Afrobeats. Is it here to stay or is it just a phase or something like that? And then it was just the fact that like it was a UK blog commentating on it. And I think it was just the fact that, you know, this is the first time they had major exposure, so they were just excited, like, yeah. You feel me? We're getting the appreciation we deserve. They didn't care. What about the S? Oh, Charlie, forget the S. You feel me? They just happy to be there. But now that like we're here and they know that it's here to stay, I believe that it's now okay for us to let people know like there's a difference between Afrobeats and Afrobeats, because Afrobeats is the genre that Fela Kuti made. That's what it was intended to be and intended to be called. But then when it started blowing up and you have people like Wizkid and Davido and Drake hopping on Afrobeat rhythms and that, and the blogs were posting that Afrobeats, it kind of stuck. So I personally don't even know what Afrobeats is, but I know it's called Afrobeats. You get me? But yeah.
So you would say Fela is the godfather of Afrobeat?
Definitely, 100%. The originator, the creator, all that.
All right, so you stand on that?
100%.
Everybody else, you think you can convince one other person?
Mm-hmm.
When every time you talk about Afrobeat,
yeah,
you think you can convince one person every time that he's the godfather? Just pass that along, put his name out there, put some respect behind it.
Yeah, I believe, because the Afrobeat originated when Fela Kuti, I believe he was making high life at first, like Nigerian high life, and then through him traveling to Ghana and him traveling to America, he then infused the drums from Africa, the funk from America and jazz, and the high life from Ghana all into one, and that's what made Afrobeats. And from then, everything before that was African music, but it wasn't Afrobeats. You get me? So, me personally, I can't think of anybody else who did it like he did until he did it. That's what made him so infamous.
Man, that's what's up. I've never heard his name, so you know what? Right now, let's start with me. You convinced one.
Yes, sir.
You got one. Hey, tell me a little bit about some of your biggest trials and errors so far.
In life or as an artist?
As an artist.
As an artist, I'll say it's like navigating the industry business-wise, because I realized it's very quick. There's a lot of mad people in this industry. Like, the people don't be regular. Like, there's a lot of people who want to take advantage of you. There's a lot of people who want to switch up on you. There's a lot of people who want to just not have integrity. So, like, I think it's very important that I learned that just you need to protect yourself when it comes to, you know, getting things done in writing, building a relationship with people before you just up and work with them. You know, trust your instinct, because I guarantee every single time that, you know, I've entered a situation that didn't serve me well, my instinct was telling me there's something not right going about this. But me being, you know, at the time, being a new artist, I just got into this, just like a relationship. I'm in the honeymoon phase, so and all these opportunities are coming to me. I'm just excited to be here, but I'm not realizing that, like, you know, people have some malicious intent. So it's really just being careful with who you work with, and making sure, of course, you're reading things and protecting yourself first instead of just being blinded by opportunities.
Hey, some people like getting into it to chase that bag, and you telling them don't do that?
If it don't make sense, you'll lose more than just the bag.
Hey, so then, I mean, I had a lot of artists I've been talking to, right? And one of my favorite questions here is, you know, how's your mental health since you began? Because like you kind of said, right, like there's so much that's going on, and like you just excited and happy to be in the space that you in, and later on you end up just getting, you got you got played, right? So now
Yeah.
it's like that all takes a toll. You know what I mean? So like, how was your mental health since you started?
I feel like, I mean, I feel like some people will be like, oh, I've been through so much, this, that. Like, I'm drained, I'm tired. Like, and I would understand that perspective, but I believe that that happens in every single avenue in life. Like, whether you want to be an artist or you want to go the corporate route, you realize you're trying to get this promotion, and the whole time you're not getting the promotion because such and such is going on golfing trips with the boss. Like, what you gonna do about that? Like, he's buying them gifts, coming over for dinner. You're never gonna get that promotion, even though you're doing better work and this and that. And that could make people, drive people insane. You know, they dedicating their lives to being the best version of themselves, but the results aren't coming because of things happen behind closed doors. And I think that happens in any industry you go into. And me personally, before, I feel like honestly my mental health was worse before, because even though the things that I went through are tough, like I said, regardless, either way, it's gonna be tough. But at that time, before I started making music, I feel like there was something missing. Like, I needed an outlet to express myself. I needed something to keep me sane, which, you know, music provides. You know, you can say whatever you want on the mic as long as it makes sense. Even it doesn't even have to make sense, honestly, as long as it makes sense to you and you know why you're saying the things you're saying. I believe that through that outlet, my mental health is better compared to when I started, even through the trials and errors. Because at the end of the day, that's any journey, successful or not. You're gonna go through trials and errors, and it's part of the journey in that.
So then, when you talk about mental health, right, nowadays, right, I always tie it into the social media aspect of life, right?
Definitely.
Our phones are one of the biggest distractions we got. And when it comes to distractions, it's also called greed and a little bit of like, you know, and it's just, like, people's emotions get real high when they get tied with social media. But like, I feel like as an artist, you got to have that tied hand in hand, right? Like, do you feel like social media has helped your brand or been more harmful than helpful?
I personally think it definitely helped, because that's the number one way that I distribute my music, like through my platforms like YouTube, like Instagram, YouTube for music videos and visualizers, and that TikTok is a huge way the artist's been blowing up. I feel like with that one, it really just comes down to discipline, because the internet's always gonna be there. Social media is always gonna be there, and it's like I feel like it's like almost like anything in this world, like food. Like, either you can use it as a tool, aid your body, nourish your body, and heal your body, or you can use it as poison, taking the wrong things, do too much of it. Of course, you'll probably get fat, out of shape, whatever the case is. Same thing with social media. Like, it's a tool. If you use it to distribute your music, communicate with others, and use it the way it was originally intended to be used, then I feel like it's a good thing. But if you're then doom scrolling after you post your content for 3 hours, of course you're gonna suffer. You know what I mean? So, and at the end of the day, I feel like it's just discipline, because with anything, there's temptations for it to go south. You know what I'm saying? But in that scenario, I feel like it's definitely helped my brand.
I feel like, and I have conversations with other people about this too, but like, I feel like music, especially here in America, is starting to sound exactly the same. 100%. Everything's pop, everything's funk, right? Like,
100%.
It's just the underline. I mean, do you feel the same? I mean,
yeah. I feel like nowadays, like, just think about it, like, just like probably like 30 years ago, the idea of becoming a poppin' rapper and having the world at your fingertips wasn't a concept. Like, artists were even just still struggling to just get paid at that time. Now you can go viral off of a TikTok sound and you got the world at your fingertips. Could you repeat that one question again?
Do you feel like music is all starting to sound the same?
Yeah. And that's exactly where I'm going with it. Like, I believe that because the reason why people are getting into music is starting to shift is they're going into it for the sake of monetary gain, for the sake of fame, clout, all these things that are artificial, and they're not really going into it for the love of the game. So a byproduct of that is people are going in to see what music can I make that I can make the most money, instead of making the music that will have the most impact on people. You know what I'm saying? And that's why music is starting to sound the same, which is money, sex, drugs, violence. Like, that's what the labels are looking for. That's what sells. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's what is ear candy to humans, instead of making something that resonates. So of course it's gonna start sounding the same. All the beats are gonna start sounding the same. They're gonna get lazy. It seems like there's a trending sound, trending type of sound. Everybody wants to hop on that sound instead of making something different. So it's like, yeah, I feel like a lot of people who are getting into the game aren't really getting into the right reasons. So that's why it's starting to sound the same.
I can feel you on that one, man. Ooh, it's tough, man, because like you said, it's what sells.
Yeah,
what's been selling, right? Like,
definitely.
And I feel like when our society starts, I guess, feeding that balloon, pumping more air into it,
yeah,
it has to implode at some point, right?
100%.
Like, at what point, I couldn't tell you, but at some point, it's gonna happen.
I feel like it already started happening personally. Like, a lot of people are talking about like black fatigue, hip hop fatigue, and that. And I understand where it's coming from, because like you can only hear like the same structure of a song so many times and tell you like, what am I really listening to? Like, what am I really doing with this? Like, what did I gain from bopping my head for
mumble rap?
Right. Like, what did I really gain from bopping my head for 2 minutes? If I ask you, what did you gain from that song? The beat slap though. Like, what you that won't last long. You get me? Mm-hmm. Within 2 weeks, the next song is gonna trend and you're gonna forget about it. You know what I'm saying? Whether in the past you'll have a song that would trend for a long time, not because it's just a popping song, but people had never heard something like that before. Like Michael Jackson, like when he dropped Thriller, it was so crazy because like it's like this funk disco, like they never heard this stuff before, and it's like it gave them a feeling they never felt before it. But right now it's like fast food. Like, I feel like music has turned into fast food. It's just like whatever just gives them that instant gratification. That's what they're going for. They don't really want like a Bob Marley, you know what I'm saying, that makes them think about something, you know.
Right. So do you feel like there's any art or cultural trends that are inspiring some of your work right now?
So art or cultural trends? I think right now my sound, I think like someone like Rema with his last, the He Is album was like a major influence for me and a major like reset for Afrobeat, because like I said before, like I felt like Afrobeat was everybody. He's also part of the problem because he made everybody wanted to baby calm down. Everybody wanted to make another Calm Down that just, you know, plays in every single H&M, but like that's not what Afrobeat is meant to be. Like it's fantastic that we're getting that type of exposure globally, but what's the point of us going so far if we forget who we were in the beginning? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like coming back to what Afrobeat is supposed to be, with them crazy drums, crazy rhythms, and people expressing themselves unapologetically and authentically, you know, is what really influenced me. People like Odomodu Black, you know, a rapper from Nigeria who's like, I remember he even got some flack for coming on this one love song. I think it's called Oluwafemi or something. I forgot what the song is called, but it's a famous love song from Nigeria, and it's supposed to be, you know, nice and soft. And then the first thing he says, "Pierce some dagaram." But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that stuff is exciting for the listener. Like, just that grit. You know what I'm saying? Because me personally, like, yeah, I can act like, you know, I'm just this Afrobeat man who just ladies man and that. But at the end of the day, I'm a nigga. Like, I'm gonna say things probably maybe more aggressively than, you know, like a whiz kid or somebody would say, like, that's just me being myself. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like people like that.
So I mean, like, do you have an inner emotion that would best describe you and your energy and some of your music, or how people would perceive you?
An inner emotion?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we got this man thinking over there in the corner, man.
Only thing coming to my head is madness. I feel like people see me, especially with live performances, as someone who's really energetic, aggressive, vibrant, but also like at the same time I can show both sides, like the softer side of myself. But overall, I do think that energetic and fierce and that vibrant sound is really what describes me the most.
So then, like, when you think about Afrobeats, what are some of the key sounds? Is it the drums, the rhythm, anything like that? At least in relation to you, or in general for you?
I feel like Afrobeat, the bass, the heartbeat of Afrobeats is the drums. Everything else, depending what type of Afrobeat you want to make, because now there's so many different genres. There's Afrobeat, there's Afro swing, there's Afro fusion. Like, depending on where direction you want to go, like that's what would depict what other sounds you use. But I feel like as long as you have the rhythm right, as long as you have the bass right, you're really drum and bass, which is ghetto music. Like, as long as that is there, you can build on top of it whatever sound. Because now Afrobeat is whatever. Before I started with live band sounds, now it's, you know, sounds that even sound like electronic, you know, like that almost emo sound.
Beats.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like EDM.
Yeah.
So do you feel like it's easier to blow up here in America than in Africa?
Definitely.
In what ways?
Visibility, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's also just like, especially if you're doing something like while I'm doing Afrobeat, like, I've noticed, like, I'm one of the few people in this city that are really trying to push straight Afrobeat. You know what I'm saying? Which people can look, oh, you're alone in this, but in reality, I think like it's like finding gold, because, you know, whenever you step in the room, you're different. You know what I'm saying? In Africa, everybody wants to be the next whiz kid to make it out of poverty. There's 1,000 of you, so it becomes like a crab in a barrel mentality. But here is like, you have everything at your fingertips. You have the studios that are easier to access. You have the labels that are easier to more accessible. There's a lot of things, you feel me? A lot of resources that in America we have here than in Africa.
We're gonna push a little bit more here because we're gonna wrap up soon because we're getting close. I got my favorite question. I always gotta ask it before we get out of the studio.
Yes, sir.
AI. Listen. I feel like AI is the future. Right now, it's gonna blow up. Right? It's too much. But it's got its grubby little hands on everything, man. We got AI artists out here producing, mixing, dropping beats, rapping, singing, you name it. Like, it's doing it all, man. How you feel about AI? How you feel about this, man?
Okay.
You a little afraid?
We're cooked. Let's just start saying for the John. Like, eventually, yeah, I believe that AI in general, like, we're opening a can of worms that I don't think humanity is really ready for. But I believe that AI is a good tool to use. I personally don't really like the complete AI artist. Of course, there's artists who are writing for the AI and doing this and that, but making music completely solely produced, written, and all that by AI, I personally don't like it, because it's like, when I'm listening to it, it doesn't feel like I'm listening to something that has a soul. I feel like it just doesn't feel authentic to me. You know what I'm saying? I believe that AI is a great tool that we can use in the music industry. I personally even used AI in one of my songs called Pressure. There's a little chorus in the background like saying pressure, pressure. And like, that was done by AI. You know what I'm saying? but like everything else, like vocals, written wise, all done by humans. So I feel like it should be used like almost anything else, social media as a tool, but keep it at that. You know what I'm saying? Don't let them take over completely, because then what we gonna have?
So I mean, if you're talking about the forms of your art, I mean, what areas in life helps you with your art? Because AI ain't got the soul, right? So then you got to find your own inspiration.
Honestly, like for me, what I've noticed, other than listening to just other artists and like listening to people talk about art, honestly, things that are completely unrelated. Like for me, I get the most inspiration like going on walks, going for runs, listening to nature, listening to the water move. Like I've written majority of my songs from doing things completely unrelated. Most lyrics come to me when I'm doing something completely unrelated to music. Just experiencing life the way it was meant to be intended, because that's what I believe music is supposed to be. It's supposed to be about life and the experience you're having from your perspective. I don't think it's really just supposed to be like, oh, I'm trying to make something that's this. Let me just listen to a bunch of African music and hopefully something appears. Nah, I feel like it should come from your own personal life and just what naturally comes to you. Yeah.
So then describe to me super quick the difference between dedication and hard work.
I believe that dedication, the difference between dedication and hard work is like, hard work is like anybody can do hard work. Like anybody can go to the gym for the first day, go crazy, run on the treadmill, do bench and do all these things. But like day 2, you might go again. Day 3, you're staying at home. Like, the hard work is done. You get me? And then a lot of people get stuck at that. They think, oh, I put in the hard work. No, the dedication is the fact that you're going day in, day out to do that hard work, whether you like it or not, or you feel like it or not. You know what I'm saying? Dedication is a commitment. Hard work is just the action.
So then, like, okay, let's say last one, but let's say you put in all that dedication, right? You put in all that hard work, man. You were at it. You were just busting it, sunrise to sundown, right? You build your home studio, right? Maybe you go to a home studio. So now dedication pays off. We talking big studios or home studios? Which one would you prefer at that time?
It depends what they're trying to do. Like me personally, like majority of the time when I'm trying to create, I prefer like a home studio, like a ghetto setup. Like I'm still getting done what I need to get done. Like, and that just that feeling of just making do with what you have. I feel like there's a beauty in it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a full-fledged big studio for like, oh no, you trying to like do a studio, an album mixing session, or you trying to like, have a studio party, or like have a bunch of people in the studio, A&Rs and label people listen to your music and stuff. Like, I feel like it's for if you're trying to, put on a show, but like, the actual act of making art and creating, I believe a home studio is more than enough. Like, all you really need is your laptop interface and your mic. Like, you're good. Like, and of course your headphones and that. Like, you can literally just, just sit with a blanket on top of your head and make a hit. Like, it doesn't. I don't think people overcomplicate it. Like, oh, now that I made it, I need to go to a big studio every day. No, like.
I feel you on that. So then let me ask you, man, because you're talking about albums and making hits. I mean, what's next for you?
Yes, sir. I'm actually planning on dropping an EP at the end of March or the first week of April, called Indie or Independence, the full name. And yeah, that'll be dropping on all platforms. I've been putting a lot of time, effort into it, trying to make sure it's the best sounding work and the most authentic sounding work that I've ever put out personally. And it has a lot of sounds. I feel like this project describes who I am as an artist, the best. Yeah, I'm really excited for people to hear what I've been working on. That's
what's up. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
5 years? Jeez. That's a hard question, I barely know what life will look like in a year. Ideally, in 5 years, I do see myself as a successful artist. From that point, I believe that I can start diversifying the things that I'm into. You know, like I've also wanted to get into things like fashion as well. I've also wanted to start my own businesses outside of music. I've always been a person that's like, of course, I love music. Music is my main, like, the bread and butter, but like, I've always liked to be a person who does different things. I don't like to really just stick to one thing, even like with music. Like, I don't like to stick to one genre or one type of Afrobeat. I like to do different things. So I believe by that time, be successful artist, probably working on like my second or third album, you know, starting to work, build my own label. And yeah, and really stepping into that more CEO position where I don't have to rely on just music to make a livelihood. I can bank on my image and the groundwork that I put in to propel me to where I want to go.
All right. Tell me, man, where can people find you?
You can find me on all platforms, YG Solo. IG, Instagram, you can find me at Solo Golden Kid. YouTube, official YG Solo. TikTok, YG3 Solo. And yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Hey, y'all, listen. Tell me why the other day I was driving. But when I was driving, I was going all the way up to Duluth. So I was passing all these little billboards, right? And on these billboards, I kept getting distracted. So I was like, what is that? What does that say? Wait, what was that? What was that? And then I looked in front of me and I almost hit this car in front of me. I almost rear-ended this car. This poor old dude, right? Traffic was stopped. And I had to get out and think, man, I really almost hit this old dude. But it's crazy because on those billboards, you know what it said?
What?
It says CEP, Chocolate Espresso Podcast, subscribe, boy. All you had to do was subscribe. It was crazy. And I didn't do it, so I kept seeing the advertisement. It was crazy, man. I felt like I was in the Truman Show. If you don't know this, look it up. Y'all, thanks for watching. Please come back again, like, share, subscribe, pass it along, pass the buck, because, you know, we try to get all these artists in here as much as possible to get their story out there. They're amazing people. So, you know, go ahead. And what's your name again?
I go by YG Solo. Also, yeah, they from Kumasi, Ghana.
Go ahead and like, share, subscribe him as well.
Yes,
Peace.
Sir.